Wake up. Please wake up. Come on. Open your eyes. Michelle. And now, whole new style of presentation. I mean, it's not insane. It's just moving the portrait to the corner, shrinking it. But my God, man, this game's insane. So bright. I'm outside. That wasn't in character, that was just me. The light feels like needles in my eyes. The first thing I see beyond the mansion's darkness is blinding light. The sun glares mercilessly overhead. A gentle breeze blows past, and I can hear birds chirping from several different directions. Each breath I take fills my lungs with the scent of earth and grass. So much time has passed since I've been in the light. I almost feel like I'm alive again. No, not almost. What's going on? What on earth? Is this the era Morgana lived? Michelle! Huh? Oh, thank goodness, you can hear me. Fucking... Every time, man. Every time they do the CCO drop, it always feels like you're hearing it for the first time. It's insane! How many times have I said insane this episode? An insane amount, I'm sure. I think I lied at the end of the last episode. That was when this was cemented as my favorite story ever told. It was right here. It was right here, seeing this new presentation style in tandem with the CCO drop. In fact, this was so strong a moment that I momentarily considered, is this my new favorite game of all time, and therefore my new favorite work of art of all time? And then I considered it for about 30 seconds and dropped back down to earth, and settled on this being my favorite narrative ever told. Good morning, Master. I hope you slept well. Giselle, is that voice really you? I swear it's me, 100%. Not that mean old phony. So don't you worry. No, I believe it's you. I just was not expecting to be able to hear you here. I did say I would always be by your side. I'm relieved. But where are you, Giselle? I can't see you anywhere. Well, I'm not exactly sure myself. You don't know? I don't know how to describe it. It's pitch dark all around me. Like a black smoke churning in the darkness. It feels a lot like inside the mansion. But I don't think I'm actually in the mansion. So you're still trapped in the void, then? I can see a shimmering light off in the distance, through the fog, and I can hear sounds coming from that direction. It's like the outside world is leaking through the light. I can see the trees rustling, hear birds singing. I can't see you, though, so I assumed I was seeing through your eyes. And I thought I'd try getting your attention. So that means you can see everything I can. Seems so. Though I don't think I can see quite as clearly as you. I wish you could be here to feel this too. Experience it in my place, even. It's a bizarre sensation. While I could see and feel the worlds through the other doors, it was strictly in the capacity of an observer. We were merely watching, not actually present in the tales. But this time, it's like I've been resurrected and dropped into the world as a participant. It's also vivid. Everything the mansion lacked. It's all here, and I can feel it so clearly. I wish you could have been the one to experience this. It's okay, Michelle. I know you'll dispel this darkness I'm in, won't you? I will. I'm more than happy just being able to hear your voice and being able to see what you see. It's like a miracle. God, no media has ever conveyed long distance like this fantasy-ass setup they've got going here. It's painful how they can't just be together, but their rapport, their chemistry, their banter, their love is just so powerful. It half makes up for it and half intensifies that pain at their separation. I too am glad to know you're there. To have the chance to hear your voice again. Thank you so much for saving me. If you hadn't shown up, I wouldn't be here. Oh no, I should be thanking you. I was overjoyed to learn how much you really cared about me. There are so many things I want to say right now. So many things I want you to know. So many thank yous and so many I love yous. Hey now, is that really the best response you've got? Surely you can do better than that. You're embarrassing me. I am somewhat disappointed by one thing, though. I can't get any hugs or kisses since I'm not there in person. Oh, come on! You're not very good at this, are you? And you're not very good at picking up on how much you're embarrassing me. I'd expect at the very least a me too. We should start by figuring out when and where exactly this is. You're not even trying, are you? I'm doing the best I can. Please don't ask any more than this of me. It's okay, though. I might not be able to see you, but we're together either way. You know, Michelle, I think I might be able to help too. While I can't be there in person, I can give you ideas. Another point of view when you're not sure about something. With the two of us together, we'll find a way through this. Yes, we will. Where to begin? What do you say we get our bearings, list out exactly what we need to take care of? That's not a bad idea. I'm a bit frazzled at the moment, to tell you the truth. What? Why? I had assumed we would just be observers, like with the other doors, searching their memories for clues. I never expected I'd actually be thrown into their era. True, it's not at all like the other doors. No matter how the rules may change, I'm seeing this through to the end. If our guess is correct, and we have arrived at Morgana's past, then we need to uncover the truth behind those events. Or rather, the three men's circumstances. What they felt, what drove them then. My gut tells me there's something to be found there. My gut tells me there's something to be found there that even Morgana doesn't know. I could be wrong, and it's possible that even if I am right, what we find won't do anything to quell their hatred. But we won't be talking her out of it, that's for sure. Words won't break through that kind of animosity. We need something bigger. Something she could not have... something she could never have imagined. Something that will turn her entire worldview on its head. The white-haired girl might be a good place to start. She showed up at the mansion again and again, as though led there by some supernatural force. And she was involved with all three men in some way. I can't think of anyone else with such deep ties to both the mansion and the men. But at the same time, I have a hard time convincing myself that the Morgana we know and the white-haired girl could be the same person. They are about as different as two people can be. Which actually leads me to believe there's something there. There must be something. Some secret we haven't figured out yet that we can use. So let's find it. It won't be easy. If we are in the past, though, I wonder, maybe we could change it. This could be a huge chance for us. Change the past? Yeah, we could prevent Morgana's death, or we could stop whatever led them down this path. There's an idea. If it's actually possible, maybe we can do something. The question is this world really? Now I'm getting kind of pumped. I've got my game face on and I'm ready to do this. Doesn't do much good if no one can see it. It's a figure of speech. Okay, first things first, we need to find the mansion. Morgana should be at the top of the observation tower, and the three men shouldn't be far off either. So the question is, where are we? Do you recognize the surroundings at all? I never really left the mansion, so I'm not especially familiar with the lay of the land. Give me a little spin, would ya? As she requests, I slowly spin around in a circle. And through the dense woods, I spot a cluster of what appears to be stone formations. Squinting to get a better look, I realize they're buildings. It's decently far off, but it appears to be the edge of a city. I think that might be the village I stayed at for a while. It's a bit big for a village. Don't you remember what Amadei said about the village's history? Amadei, that bastard. Michelle, you didn't think something uncharacteristically vulgar just now, did you? Wouldn't dream of it. Yes, I remember. He said it was once much larger, and that it was destroyed in a single week by the witch's curse. Except rather than a curse, it was probably disease. If that's the same city, then it fits with what Morgana said happened. I believe he also said something about there being a large bridge on the outskirts of the city, and that following the path from there would lead to the mansion. So let's head down to the city. All right. All right. You don't sound very enthusiastic. Are you nervous that you might have to talk to someone? Don't worry, you've got me here. Don't treat me like I'm antisocial. You're not? No, that's not what's bothering me. It's... something about this whole thing feels off. This world we're in. Never mind. I'm probably overthinking things. But now's not the time for that. We need to get moving. Let's go. Rather than waste time fretting over details, we need to get to the mansion like she said. Everything else comes after that. With each step, I can feel the earth compressing beneath my feet, the grass flattening. As I weave my way through the trees toward the city, the sensation of having a living flesh and blood body slowly returns. Look who it is. I suspected on my first playthrough there would have to be new sprites, because, well, that's what the silhouettes were. They weren't drawings or poses we had seen before. And here they are. A white-haired man just appeared out of nowhere. Huh? That face is so good, oh my god. And he's talking to himself. I gotta get away before he does something. Hold it right there, Mel. You don't get to call me crazy and then just run off. How do you know my name? How? Why wouldn't I? We were just in the mansion together. Huh? Mansion? What are you talking about? Right. He hasn't become the shadow in the mansion yet. I doubt I would forget seeing someone as unusual as you. Who are you? And where did you come from? Where? I'd like to know that myself. Say something, Michelle! He's not getting any less suspicious of you. You have to come up with some way to break the tension. Improvisation isn't exactly my strong suit. I am God. Michelle, even I wouldn't believe you if you told me that. I already regret it. You're one of those pagan missionaries, aren't you? Here to spread the word of some other new god. And now he thinks I'm loony. I should get going. Hold on! You can't leave until I'm... That's really funny. Hold on! You can't leave until I've made a better impression! My parents raised me not to talk to scary people like you. I'm with you on that one, Mr. and Mrs. Rhodes. God, this is a disaster. I was joking. I didn't actually mean I was God. Stop looking at me like I'm mad. That still doesn't explain how you knew my name. Have you been stalking me? Why would anyone follow you around? It was all a coincidence. You look a lot like an acquaintance of mine. So, imagine my surprise when it turns out you have the same name as him. Okay, we'll go with that for now. He would probably trust a bear before me at this point. Anyway, it would seem that, like Morgana's, I'm the only one who can hear Giselle's voice. Regardless, you wouldn't have any luck converting anyone here anyway. Again, I'm not... Wait, hold on. Why do you say that? Everyone around here worships the Saintess. Sometimes I think she's got more followers than God the Father himself. She's practically her own religious figure. The Saintess? You've never heard of her? She's a nun down at the church. Everyone calls her the Saintess. So he's not talking about Morgana. No, actually, I have heard tales of her. I would be surprised if you hadn't. Anyway, Anyway, in a few days, we're going to hold a festival at the church to celebrate the spring harvest. So while that's going on, I don't think you'll have much luck proselytizing. I'm forever doomed to be a missionary in his mind now, aren't I? When exactly is this harvest festival? In 3 days. You should stick around for it. 3 days? Morgana died when the bell tolled noon on the day of the festival, which means she's not got that much time left. This will be the first time we've held the festival, so everyone's excited to make it into a big event, something really memorable. And a young girl is dying behind the scenes of this seemingly pleasant celebration. If her death is 3 days from now, that might give us enough time to do something about it. Could I ask you to show me the way to the church? I would like to join in on the festivities. Sure, yeah, of course. The church's doors are open to all. Friends and family and heathen missionaries alike. It's not far. Follow me. Thank you. It didn't occur to me until now, but this really is a strange experience. This is a boy from a completely different time period, who I would have never had the opportunity to meet. If he's here, then presumably the other two are as well, which means Morgana's wish for their reconstruction was actually granted. This Mel doesn't seem like any different a person than the one I observed through the first door. You know, I was actually going to say, I don't think that's true at all, and I think that's intentional. It's that you'll notice with all of them, it's not a spoiler really, but they all behave in slightly different ways. They have like different temperaments compared to their reincarnated versions. Not by much, it's not like super obvious, which is why Michelle here says this, but in subtle ways, because they're, for all intents and purposes, different people raised in a different culture, by different means, with different values. they're gonna be different. It's like, that tug of war between nature and nurture. It's fascinating to behold, man. I love it. Love the way it's done. We've just seen the tip of the iceberg of that, with Mel being, a bit more bratty, more sort of wearing his heart more on his sleeve, so to say. Bit more extroverted. Bit more casual, less noble and refined. For, again, valid reasons. Yet he played a part in Morgana's imprisonment. I have trouble believing he would voluntarily involve himself, though. I was scared for a minute there. And when this song came back, bringing us full circle, I'm like, wow, how far we've come. This music makes it feel like a different game, and yet, from the first time we heard this all the way till now, the progression has been so smooth and natural. It feels so tonally consistent throughout. It's amazing. The benefit of hindsight, what it can do for your enjoyment of an experience. I love it. I was scared for a minute there. That could have gone a lot worse. Did I already read that? Plus, we managed to make contact with Mel in record time. She's interacted with him, and the others before, so I guess this doesn't feel as strange to her. You don't want him to hear you talking to yourself again. That's why you're not saying anything to me, isn't it? Actually, I think I can talk to you without speaking. Can you hear me? How are you doing that? I, have a lot of experience talking to ghosts. That really drives home how bizarre things for you were. Wow. That really drives home how bizarre things were for you in that mansion. Were you not in similar circumstances when it was you and Morgana together? Yeah, now that you mention it. What a bizarre time we've both had in that mansion. You're just now realizing this? So, what's your impression of him? My impression? That he is the same Mel as always? In a little more detail? He's an amicable young man. Nice enough to show a complete stranger around. I agree. In Morgana's version of the story, he betrayed her. But he doesn't seem like the kind of person who would enthusiastically do something so malicious. He had to have some kind of reason. Some reason. And we need to figure out what that was. The question is, how do we go about it? We hardly have enough time to earn his trust and convince him to tell us himself. I'll just have to put the knowledge I already have to good use. Oh, that reminds me. Something that might explain it. No, about Morgana. When you were alive, she was always right there with you, like I am now, right? Whenever it struck her fancy, yes. She didn't seem to care where or when. She would just start talking whenever she felt like it. Whenever? For the most part, yes. Anytime she wanted.
Ugh.
Giselle.
You don't have to worry about that with me. I know when to keep my mouth shut, promise.
What?
You said you feel like you're alive again, right?
My 5 senses all seem to be in working order.
Which means you'll also be getting hungry, tired, sleepy, and you'll, you know.
Huh?
You'll have to go to the bathroom. I'll be polite and close my eyes and plug my ears while you're doing it.
Thanks? What would possess her to bring that up? Does she even realize what she's saying? Yeah, my thoughts exactly. You guys want to fuck, dude. Come on, who cares?
Oh gosh, now I'm red as a tomato.
That answers that. Moving right along. We need to discuss how we're going to go about this.
Right, that.
The Harvest Festival is our deadline, which doesn't give us very much time. We need a plan for when we arrive at the mansion.
How about we spill their secret? Tell everyone about the girl they've got locked up in the tower and force them to set her free. Surely they wouldn't stand for that.
Perhaps, but would anyone believe me? If I walked in and said I came from the future and that I know what's going to happen, would anyone actually buy that?
Sure, with enough convincing.
Even if I did manage to convince them, the tower door was locked in Morgana's rendition of the tale. You need 3 keys to get inside. Mel should have one of them, but stealing his alone won't be enough to get into the tower.
True.
If Giselle is right and we can save Morgana and change the future, then that would indeed solve everything. But something about this whole situation still doesn't sit right with me. I have to do more than just set her free of that tower. I have to find the truth as well, as I initially set out to do. Regardless, I would like to try and stay on everyone's good side as much as possible for now.
Okay, I'll do whatever I can to help.
I appreciate it. I mean, as you know, conversation is not exactly my strong suit.
Which means it's my job to hit the brakes whenever you say something stupid.
It's a bit too late if I've already said it.
Anyway, step 1 is to get ourselves into the mansion. We can't hope to make contact with the other 2 men, much less take a breath. We can't hope to make contact with the other 2 men, much less get Morgana out of there if we're not staying nearby.
I'll do what I can.
We're almost there. See the big building in the distance? That's the church.
It is the same mansion, as I suspected.
Seeing it now, knowing what horrible things happened there, is so disheartening.
Are happening as we speak. In the tower we see in the distance, Morgana's locked up, all alone.
I wish we could just march in there and set her free.
If getting into the tower was our only goal, we could probably force our way in with a little work.
Is something the matter?
Mel, I could probably overpower him and get his key.
Hello?
But the other 2, that almost certainly wouldn't work for.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, sorry, I was lost in thought.
Seems kind of strange, doesn't it?
What does?
I mean, it doesn't look much like a church. At a glance, you'd think it was some noble's estate.
So it does. I've spent so long in there it never even occurred to me.
I was pretty surprised when I first saw it myself. A peculiar place, all told. There's a chapel inside the mansion with this gorgeous stained glass window. It's quite the sight.
Do you know why it was built like that?
I'm not actually sure myself, no. Anyway, I'll show you to the chapel. The Saintess should be there too, so I can introduce you.
All right.